I am Amanda Cunningham, and I'm a single mum, and I did that by choice, to have this baby, and what a joy it is, and what a privilege to have that job. But it does make it difficult, when you're the sole and only breadwinner, and you've got to keep stepping up. I've got amazing siblings who would not let the whole world fall to pieces. I suppose within me, it's part of that never wanting to fail. I've always been like that. I'm a strong person. I've got to survive and succeed. And then came to South Africa actually on a holiday and then never left. And I got into the space of public relations, marketing, and then into exhibitions. And had this fantastic, wonderful, joyous career, which came crashing down with COVID in 2020. The Wedding Expo, thank God, was a very successful business after that first year when I realized it's not going to work. You've got to get this right. And I had a wonderful team of girls who worked for me, and the money kept coming in. Challenges that came with 2020, I had actually sold out 50% of the business. And we had this fantastic model going forward because we had an amazing sponsor. And my partners COVID came and that was it. It all fell to pieces. We were left with major debt because we had to pay everybody back for the exhibitions that weren't going to happen. I mean, the only beautiful thing that came out of COVID for me was it gave me a chance to actually spend time with my mum. I was always so busy. And she kept saying to me, don't worry, it'll come right. Because at the time, you don't think it will. You don't sleep, you don't eat properly. The sleeping was the worst. And you just worry constantly. And I kept looking at things thinking, hang on a second, where's it gone? Kept thinking, I've got to think positively. It's there. I know about this law of attraction. I was attracting everything that was not right because my mind was so wrong. I really did think that I'd never get another job. I'd never be employed again or start a business again. The only thing that brought me back to reality every single day was my son, because I had to provide. You can't not. And I know that there are terrible thoughts that go through people's mind, and they went through mine. But I was cutting back everything, everywhere, cutting out everything that was not required. It was very humbling. I did not have in place any type of policy when I was not earning. I did have savings. I had a series of policies which I did through Discovery. What I was not doing was building up that fund for retirement that I suppose in a way I thought that the business would go on and on and on forever. And although I had these savings things in place, they weren't assets. I'd been paying this financial advisor to tell me what to do. It took me up until not so long ago to confront her and say, I actually am taking control of my financial life now. So I was in Mauritius at the time, and I thought, oh my God, here's this blonde chick again. Here she is. I better listen this time. I kept thinking, this can't possibly be for me. This is for people who are much cleverer, that have got degrees, that have got big businesses, are CEOs. I kept pushing it aside. It was at Christmas last year when you popped up again, and I thought, okay, this has got to be a sign. And then when I actually got into it, I thought, no, but hang on a second, Amanda, you know how to do this. You've got budgets. You know what to do. And it can be done. I was so energized. I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh, my word, why did I not listen previously? So there's definitely that pay yourself first. Out of every single check that comes in, I pay myself first. And that just goes into the fund and that's done. And I've got the funds. I've got all my funds set up in easy equities. And what I have got in place, I'm absolutely rigid. On the first of every month, I update that spreadsheet. And so it's been cutting out the unnecessaries and getting rid of things I don't need. I mean, I've loved selling things at the auction and at Marketplace. That's actually quite a joy to me to see that money come in. One of the things I did was when I paid all the debt off, I actually thought, you know what? I am taking some of this money and I'm going on holiday. And that's exactly what we did. And it was laughter and fun and just exactly what I needed. And it was budgeted for. I knew what it was going to cost. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say you're vulnerable. And it's okay to say no. I'm getting to know myself now more than I ever have done before. Before I was the people pleaser. That's what I did. I was a shapeshifter and a people pleaser, and I just said yes to everything. I don't do that now. I've realized that you can do anything. You can change career. You can do that. You can come up with something different. I'm not going to spend my time any longer on things that are not going to be beneficial to me. I think valuing me has been the most important thing. Taking stock and putting a price to this. This is also a budget. So am I valuable? And the answer is yes, I am. I value myself and I know what I'm worth. But in January 2021, it was like being a grown up. I realized I was the adult and I had to do something now. So I did look. I looked for jobs. I sent my CV out. I was absolutely horrified when I didn't get called for interviews, and being told I was too old was quite something. And then I realized that that's not my path. I never wanted to be that person. I had been on my own and earned my own money for such a long time. There'd never been a regular salary check. It had never come in. It wasn't part of what my journey was. And if it was going to happen, I had to get out there and do it myself. I thought about what about property? I did actually used to sell property in London and I loved it, but I never thought about going back into it. And I was with a friend and she said, come on, let's be estate agents. So I said, all right, well, you find the job and I'll come and join you. And that's how it happened. Life is hard and you've got to just work with it. You just have to take those brave steps. And if you make a mistake, correct it and carry on. Carry on. Keep the journey going. Out of terrible things come great things. And you just have to put in the hard work. It doesn't all just fall in your lap. You've got to get out there and make it happen. We're all in the same sort of situation and bearing our souls, trying to change our situations and working together as a group of people to make things better and to understand that we can do all of this stuff. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light might be tiny for a considerable amount of time, but that light is there and you've just got to walk towards it. Keep walking towards the light. I promise you it'll get bigger and it will get better, because that dark place is terrible. You don't have to do it on your own. Ask for the help. Know that you're worth it. Know that you can do it. You just have to put one step in front of the other. It's been a really, really wonderful journey. It's been a game changer. It's been life-changing purpose that I needed. It really has been. Thank you, Anne.